These days, 3D renderings are a must for selling any real estate project. If you are not using them, you are probably missing out on a lot of potential sales. Whether you are new to 3D rendering or have been at it for years, some common mistakes can sneak in, leading to results that aren't quite what you hoped for. A wasted budget and a delayed timeline. In this video, I'll share 7 key mistakes that developers can avoid when creating 3D renderings for their project. Hi, I'm Balkrishna Kamba, and for the past 20 years, my company Animation Studio has been crafting marketing material for the real estate industry. If you find this video useful and want to learn more about creating effective marketing and sales material for your real estate project, then this video is just for you. Please like and hit that subscribe button below. Let's dive in. Mistake number 1. The cost of overlooking 3D rendering complexity. Every real estate project has its own vibe, and that's why each one needs a special touch when it comes to 3D rendering. For example, take a high-end villa in Goa. The render for which should be sophisticated and super realistic, which means usually higher price. But for that budget commercial office in Pune, the focus is more on showing off the layout, location and accessibility. So the render would be different and probably more straightforward. Once you understand these differences, you can explain this to your rendering studio and get a right quality without overspending. But if you don't get this, you might end up with a higher budget or feeling disappointed after looking at the renders. Think of it like buying a car. You wouldn't expect a compact car to cost the same as a fully loaded SUV, right? It's the same deal with 3D renderings. Mistake number 2. Ignoring revision cost. Unexpected changes can be a real pain in any real estate project. This always seems to pop up when you least expect it. Imagine this. You have just received your 3D render and then your architect spots a change in the blueprint that affects the elevation. Now the studio has to redo the render all over again, which means extra cost and time wasted. To avoid this hassle, make sure you have finalized everything with your architect before handing it over to the 3D render studio. It's a simple but effective step that can save you a lot of headaches down the road. A little planning ahead can help you avoid that extra cost and keep things running smooth. Mistake number 3. Assuming all providers are the same. Let's talk about quality. In every business, you'll find all sort of options from cheap to expensive. Now it's tempting to go for that sabse sasta deal. But remember, what you save in money today, you might lose in quality tomorrow. A badly made 3D render can make your luxury real estate look ordinary. Think about it. If your design looks ordinary, will it represent a luxury real estate? This can hurt your brand image in the market and cost you more in the long run. It's like buying a car. You could go for a hatchback model, but it won't have the same performance, style, feature as a luxury branded car. The same idea applies to 3D render. Quality really does matter. So don't just look at the price tag. Check the studio's previous work. Ask about their work. And most importantly, think about what you really need for your project. Mistake number 4. Failing to specify the scope of it. You're getting ready for your best friend's wedding. You walk into the tailor's shop and say, I need a nice suit. The tailor nods, takes your measurement, and you have left feeling pretty good about yourself. But when you come back to pick it up, surprise, it's just a jacket. No trousers, no waistcoat. Now you're in a pickle. The wedding's next week and you're only half dressed. Now let's bring this back to your real estate project. It's like telling the 3D studio, I need renders of my new building. They might whip up some gorgeous shots of the buildings from the street, from the sideways. But wait, don't you also want to show your spacious living rooms modern kitchens. If you didn't mention these interior shots, you might find yourself in the same boat as our half-suited wedding guest. You'll be scrambling to get these interior renders done, watching your budget inflate and your timeline stretched. So, before you start, grab a cup of chai, sit down with your team and make a list. Think about every area you wanted to show. The grand entrance, the cozy bedroom, even that balcony with that great view. Jot it all down. Remember, in this case, there is no such thing as too much information. It's better to have the studio say, wow, you have thought of everything, than to be left wishing you had asked for more. By doing this, you will get exactly what you dreamed of and save on cost and avoid those nail-biting delays. And who knows, these detailed renders might just be what convinces someone to make your property their new home. Now, wouldn't that be something to celebrate? Quality takes time and it's worth the investment. Mistake number 5. Overemphasis on speed. We all love quick results, but rushing can also be very risky. Hurrying through a 3D rendered project can cost more in the end. Why is that? When we work too fast, the quality can suffer. This leads to mistakes, and fixing these mistakes means more work and more time. Let me share a real example. Once a client wanted their project finished super quickly. We rushed to meet the deadlines, but the project design had problems. Correcting those errors in 3D renders took extra time and extra cost. Good quality needs real time. It's like cooking that special dish, you can't rush it, right? The same goes for 3D renders. Taking the proper time is worth it. You'll get a better result, and it will also save your money in the long run. Mistake number 6. Ignoring software licensing and usage rights. And now I'll tell you something very important about software licensing in 3D rendering studios. This is something that can catch you off guard if you are not careful. Some studios might use unlicensed softwares to keep their prices low. That might sound good at first, but it can lead to problems like legal trouble. If the studio gets caught using illegal software, both you and the studio could face legal issues. Lower quality, unlicensed software often doesn't get updates, which means your design might not look as good. Unexpected cost. If the studio gets into trouble, they might raise their price or leave your project unfinished. And it's bad for your reputation. Being linked to something illegal can hurt your business reputation. If a studio's price seems too low, ask about the software licenses they use. It's better to pay a bit more to avoid this risk and use your 3D render license-free from anywhere you need, without worries. Mistake number 7. Underestimating coordination efforts. Let's talk about teamwork and communication. People often underestimate how much time and effort it takes to keep everyone on the same page, especially when working with a 3D render studio. Here's what you need to do. Have meetings to explain what you want. Review their work and give feedback quickly. Make sure the design matches your team's vision. This back and forth might take time and energy, but it's worth it. It's just like planning a great family event. Good communication with your 3D design studio leads to amazing results. If you're building a new apartment complex, you'll probably need several meetings to decide on the look of the building, the layout of the flat, and even details like wall color, landscape, pavings, and that gate design. Each decision needs input from both your team and the 3D design studio. So keep scope for detailed coordination efforts when developing 3D renders with a 3D render studio. In today's competitive real estate market, 3D renderings aren't just luxury, they are a necessity. They are essential. But it's easy to make these mistakes that can lead to wasted time, blown budgets, and less than stellar results. I hope this has given you some valuable insights into avoiding costly mistakes with 3D renderings. But I know every project is unique and sometimes you need personalized advice. That's why I'm offering a one-to-one session to help you navigate these challenges. Let's work together to create a marketing and sales material that truly stands out and give you the best return on your investment. Reach out today. Click on the link in the description below and set an appointment.